I'm Larry Ridley, and this is the NFL on EA Sports. Both defenses will have to be on the watch for a pair of tight ends looking to find seams in the secondary. It's Olsen's Panthers going up against Gronkowski's Patriots. So with that, let's get up to Gillette Stadium in Foxborough. Here are Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Larry, thanks. EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to Gillette Stadium in Foxborough, Mass. Coming up, we've got a good matchup on tap between the Carolina Panthers and the New England Patriots. Hi again, everybody. Alongside my partner, Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And, Charles, we saw Larry focus on the tight end matchup in his open. You think it's one to watch, don't you?
Definitely one to watch because these guys can create such big plays by all the different things they can do. Line up out wide, in the slot, line up in a normal tight end position, and then who are you going to cover them with? Is it a linebacker, a defensive back? They create mismatches all throughout the game.
They were the final two unbeatens in the NFL a season ago. The Pats and Panthers are underway. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. So here are the Panthers now for their opening drive. And they'll be led out by the NFL's most valuable player from 2015. It's Cam Newton.
There are a number of great quarterbacks in the NFL, but I have to believe that the prototype in terms of look has to be Cam Newton. That stature and frame, almost breathtaking when you see him in person. And now he's starting to put it all together with consistency in his game, throwing, running, leading.
They go play action here on first down. And this one brought in by a man who missed all of last year, Kelvin Benjamin. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. And on this first drive, looks like they want to get that vertical passing game going early.
And they did, and what a warning shot they just fired. If you're not going to back up and play coverage deep, we're going to attack you all game long. And once you adjust to that and you start to back off, then that opens things up underneath. A really nice start for them. Great way to get the game going.
So here we go, 1st and 10 now. Now a first down throw for Newton. This one complete to Devin Funchess. And he's brought down. It's a pickup of 14 there. And that leads to a Carolina first down. Now a first carry for Jonathan Stewart. And he went nowhere. Well, he went backwards, back to the 33. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down. And, Charles, this front seven, they're going to get some help once the season starts. Barkevious Mingo coming over from the Browns to the Patriots.
And they needed that help. They've had some guys dinged up, so they needed some fortification. And remember, Barkevious Kiki Mingo was the number 6 pick in the entire draft when he came out of LSU in 2013. There's talent there. They're hoping to get it out of him.
So we've reached the end of a fairly even first quarter of play. 0-0 our score, and we'll return to Foxborough after this. With my good friend Charles Davis, Brandon Gaudin with you. It's the Panthers in possession of the football as we begin quarter number 2, but they face a 2nd and long to start things out. This is Stewart again. And he'll be taken down after a short gain as that takes us to the 2-minute warning. Rob Ninkovich on the stop.
We always like to talk about defense in terms of levels. First-level defensive line, second-level linebackers, third-level defensive backs. On that run, that was what we call a first-level run, and it was stopped by a second-level player.
The 22 is the line to gain here on third down. And defensively, it's a nickel formation here on third down and 9. Throwing is Newton. He's got time. He'll hit Whitaker on the flat. And he'll be... Now we're going to get a timeout here called by the Patriots. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. So the defense had a chance to catch their breath, and now they're back out and ready. So now off goes Newton, and on comes the kicker, Graham Gano. On the right hash, it's a 43-yard attempt. And Gano's kick is right through. And the Panthers stake claim to a 3-0 lead. So our initial drive here this afternoon results in 3. I'm not sure that was a statement necessarily, but getting points on the road, never a bad thing.
No question about it, Brandon. You had a crowd that was all fired up during pregame introductions, yet you're able to quiet them just a little bit by taking the early lead.
After knocking through the field goal, here's Gano back out there now for the kickoff. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. Blunt, the lone running back. Garoppolo now. Going underneath to Blunt. It'll be a pickup of only a yard, and that'll make it a 2nd down. Looking to speed things up here, going with some tempo. Garoppolo. Pressure comes in. He's brought down. It's a Panther sack. Coney Ely in there to make the sack. He buries him for a loss of 10. The defense, they got a little bit of a breather. Now they're back and set as we resume play. Carry for the shifty Dion Lewis. Look at this spin.
Balance.
Penalty marker is down here. And he does take it in for the touchdown, but a flag on the field, and I don't think this is going to stand.
Yeah, don't put the points on the board just yet.
Still 3rd down.
And now a 1st down following that long gain. From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. And right side caught Hogan. And he'll get it down to the 47 here. It's a gain of 6 on the play, and that'll make it second down. So the offense takes the timeout, and they are back out and ready to rock. Four yards remaining now on second down.
Here we go. I got 29. I got 29.
Here we go now. Blue,
Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. Over the middle, and it's incomplete. LeGarrette Blount was the intended target. And that'll bring up a third down.
And there's a good opportunity that just went awry there. A drop pass. I guess that's why they call them running backs and not catching backs.
So the offense needing 4 yards. It's third down.
Tight end right. Tight end right. Set. Blue 90. Blue 90.
Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. To the sideline, and oh, a nice catch there. Made sure the feet were inbounds, and they were.
Can you do any more work or make it more dramatic for not much gain than what we just saw there? Did you see how his toes got down? Tip-tap, got him down. But what did he get out of it?
He sold the sizzle. He just had no steak.
I mean, was it 1 yard?
Yeah, plays like that, you at least expect a first down. They're just 1 yard. And now where will the side judge stop his walk? That's the question. He says it crossed out of bounds at about the 17-yard line. Carolina getting set to take the field. And we'll see how this is played. Offensively, they've got the lead. Not a whole lot of time left. What do you think, Charles?
Well, it's tempting to try and add to your lead, but a mistake there, that can change things in a big way. I say go ahead, take the knee, get on out for the half.
They start on the ground. This is Stewart on first. And he'll take this one up to about the 23. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
And once again, leverage wins. The offensive line, lower than the defensive front. They moved them and found some good space for the guy carrying the ball.
2nd down and 4. So we've reached halftime. All we have to show for the first half, a lone field goal. 3-0 our score. As we send you down to Orlando, where we check in with Larry Ridley and our EA Sports Halftime Report. Take it away, Larry.
Thanks, Brandon, and welcome to the EA Halftime Report. I'm Larry Ridley. Let's take a look back at the first half. Both teams have played smart with the football in the first half. Each team has avoided that one big turnover to this point, and it's a reason we have a very tight game at halftime. All right, let's do this. Here's the first half highlights. Pick it up early in the first. The pass will be completed into coverage, and that connection will lead to a gain of 29 yards. Panthers would stall out and settle for a field goal. Patriots have the football midway through the second. Defense will win the battle and get the sack. This will go as a loss of 10. So that's it for us at the EA Sports Studio. We'll go back now to Gillette Stadium for the start of the second half.
So both teams have their marching orders, and we'll get going again here in quarter number 3. Danny Amendola on the return. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. The Patriots offense now, they work their way back onto the field. They come out here with a 0 on the scoreboard. What was said in that locker room? That's what I want to know.
I would love to have been in there because we often have the feeling that there's a lot of shouting, screaming, people upset. But typically, halftime locker rooms are a lot more clinical than that. And in this case, are they upset that the plays weren't working because of execution? Or did they think they were just bad plays to call?
Yeah.
We'll find out pretty quickly here if they feel like they had something going, but they just need to do it a little bit better or not.
We'll find out. They'll try and start this drive in the air. He was looking for Julian Edelman that time. And it'll be 2nd and 10. All right, Charles, let's go off the script here real quick. Week 3 of the preseason, so many people point to that, say how vital it is. What do we take away from week 4 of the preseason?
Well, we know this is where certain guys make the team. Right, those last position battles. Maybe this is the tiebreaker week, and those guys are going to play the entire game trying to break that tie. Some coaches will have veterans who haven't played much at all, that they want to get on the field a little bit before the regular season begins. They may play them in a little bit of a, an audition sort of a deal, try and get them loose. And then, let's face it, others have question marks that they have to get answered, and they may have to take a little bit of a risk and play them in the last preseason game just to get those question marks answered before the season kicks off.
The offense staring at a 3rd and 12 here.
Let's go.
They'll set up to throw. Surveying the field. And this is going to be incomplete. The wideout Chris Hogan, the intended receiver. And it'll be 4th down. Here's Ryan Allen now, as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. And a good result there, as that'll get out of bounds and pin them back at their 10-yard line. A look at the offense now here, coming back out on the road for their first possession of the 2nd half. They were able to get the ball back here, didn't surrender any points. Now they'll look to add to that lead.
Now, how about the boost the defense gave them? Going right out on the field, shutting them down, not giving up any points, and turning the ball back over. They want to do their part now and show them a little respect and some gratitude by scoring some points.
And to get a little more cushion. Now a play fake here on 1st down. And the tight end Olsen, right side. Oh, he's got some breathing room. And they get 28 yards on that one. And it'll be a Carolina first.
There's a completion to the tight end, and I think that we're looking at something out of central casting, frankly.
Absolutely.
I mean,
size, the hands.
Speed. I mean, can flat out run. You put that whole package together, you light up the eyes of an offensive coordinator, don't you?
Stewart is the lone setback. Play clock down to 0, and that's going to be a delay.
Delay of game, offense. Still 1st down.
the penalty. Here's Stewart. Room here to run.
Oh,
he will not go down.
Have to retake those ankles.
It's a gain of 21 that time. And that leads to a Carolina first down.
Well, plenty of credit has to go to the guy carrying the ball. He broke the tackle and gained the yardage. But that doesn't necessarily mean that the defender's bad. They're not going to make 100% of the tackles all the time. Even the best in the game will miss one occasionally. The key is not to let it snowball and miss tackle after tackle. On that play, credit to the offense, but that doesn't make the defense bad.
And this will probably be the last play of the quarter. We have played 3 quarters. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now in Foxborough. It's been a very hotly contested game to this point. Just a field goal separating these two teams as we get set for the fourth quarter. First down and 10 now for the offensive group. They go back to Stewart on first. It'll be a minimum pickup, and it will take us to the 2-minute warning. It's a pickup of 3, and we have now arrived at the 2-minute warning. So a defensive timeout, chance to regather, regroup, and get set as we resume action. Now it's 2nd and 7. Newton turns and hands to Stewart. And that winds up a decent run, and it also takes us to the 2-minute warning. Now whistles blow, and the Patriots are going to take another timeout. That'll be their second, so one more chance to stop the clock here, and we'll be back. And now following that timeout, the defense back out onto the field. Third down and 1. They'll try and run it. Here's Stewart. And he picks up the first before he's taken down at the 29. It's a pickup of 6 and good enough to move the chains. All right, so the timeout over and all 11 men back out onto the field for the defense. Stewart is the lone setback. And he'll get it up the middle. And he will lose yardage here to the 31-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down.
The evaluation process in today's NFL does not take into account as much bulk as it does speed. And that's what we're seeing with the linebacker position. Those guys that can run, they can play at any spot because they can make plays on the opposite side of the line of scrimmage.
It's already 2nd and 12. The defense hoping to push them back more. Newton gives off to Stewart. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. And he's able to get more than half of what they needed. That brings up a 3rd and 5. So Carolina eating some clock on the ground there, and part of why they were the NFC champs last year, number 2 as a team in the running game.
They played their identity last year. Offensive line that can move people in the run game. Jonathan Stewart running it. Of course, big Cam Newton could be a short yardage guy. And remember, their head coach, Ron Rivera, a defensive guy. They love to run the football. An extra corner on the field for New England here on 3rd down.
Yeah, another DB. That'll make it 4th down after a loss of 1. So out on the field now, Graham Gano in a big spot. He hit his first. Now this from 43. So that'll do it for us. For my partner, Charles Davis, and all the hard-working men and women on our crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL right here on EA Sports. And with that, we say so long from Foxborough.